That's good. All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Let me thank everybody for being here. It's a really exciting day, and I first off want to thank everyone who applied for consideration of this appointment. District 41, we had 16 applicants of outstanding folks, and all had incredible histories of public service. I'm really excited to be able to announce this afternoon the appointment of Fred Meyer of St. Paul to complete the term vacated by Senator Tom Briese for District 41. Fred, as many in Nebraska know, is a longtime, lifetime Nebraskan. He was raised on a farm near West Point, graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with a degree in animal science and ag education. Fred's had a long history of public service. He was appointed in 1999 by Governor Johans to serve as representative for District 6 for the State Board of Education. He was re-elected in 2002 and 2006. During his 12-year tenure on the board, Fred served as vice president and also as president. He's been honored over the years for his community involvement as well as his work in the area of agriculture. Fred has given and given and given. He's been very active in many multiple civic and professional organizations, Ag Builders of Nebraska, Nebraska Farm Bureau, Nebraska Cattlemen, and the St. Paul Area Economic Development. Fred's been married to his beautiful bride, Kay, and they have 3 sons and 7 grandchildren. A couple things I'd like to make a couple comments on in regard to serving the remainder of the term. Fred, it's important to note that in identifying the appropriate appointee for this seat, I wanted to make sure that we had somebody who had a specifically interested in completing the term of Senator Briese. There's a couple candidates that are out working and have to become elected in the seat of the District 41 seat. I believe as your governor that the voters of District 41 are who are to choose them, and so Fred will do an extraordinary job representing District 41 for this current term, and I can't say enough how grateful I am for Fred and Kay to say thank you. So Fred, I'd welcome you up to say a few words.
Thank you, Governor, and I'm truly humbled to have this opportunity. I've been blessed to be in Nebraska my whole life, and for the last few years to get to know Governor Pillen on a personal basis, and I'm anxious to work under his leadership in the legislature. I also want to thank my wife, my girlfriend for the last 49 years. I better not cut that short. Been my wife for 46, but my girlfriend for 49. We actually met 49 years ago in the fall here at the university. I had just graduated and she was an incoming freshman, and our paths happened to cross, and she's been my best supporter and my best friend ever since, so thank you. Also, I want to thank my family surrounding me. They've been very supportive. They're supportive to one another, and they're just really good family. When we have family get-togethers, they like to sit around and visit and share ideas and help each other out and help with the grandkids, and that gives parents a really good feeling. I also want to really thank Senator Tom Briese for his 7 years of service. Is he in the, did he make it? He has been a stalwart for the 41st District. He worked tirelessly for property tax relief. He tried about every angle there was available to get that done, with sales tax base increases, right on down the line, and was instrumental in the property tax credit fund. Worked closely with the governor to get the big package done last year, which under the conditions last year I thought were just monumental. So Governor Briese, if you hear this, My hat's off to you. You are a great senator for the 41st District. I also want to thank a friend, old friend of mine, Secretary of State Bob Evnen. We served together on the State Board of Education for a number of years, and we have a long history going back, and I have the utmost respect for the work that he does for the state of Nebraska. I'm pleased to represent the 41st District. We're a very diverse district. It got changed a little bit with the redistricting a couple of years ago. So now I go all the way over to north of Kearney and east from St. Paul. But in my memory, I might be the first representative from St. Paul that anyone can recall. So I'm honored to do that. I'm anxious to get started in the legislature. I have a lot to learn. I know there's some carryover bills from last year. It's a short session, and when the governor asked me if I would fill in, one of the requirements, like he said previously, was that he wants the voters of the 41st District to decide who their next representative would be, and I was willing to fill out this one session. My wife and I have been going to Arizona for the last few years to enjoy the warm weather, so it was somewhat of a sacrifice that we did this, but again, I thank my wife, Kay. I've been active in education my whole life, and I'm pretty passionate about that. And some of the things that got done this last session with the Educational Opportunity Act, I think were huge. I'm also passionate about agriculture, and I'm passionate about natural resources. So hopefully there's a place for me on some of those committee assignments as we move forward. And I'm just ready to get started. I have a lot to learn, and I know that. But I have a good team to work with the governor's staff, and I'm ready to get started. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Fred. There's not a shadow of a doubt that of all the people that know you across the state, and especially in District 41, that everybody has a high expectation that you'll hit the ground running really, really fast. So with that, Secretary Evnen, if you'd initiate the oath.
In a moment, Fred, I'm going to administer the oath. It's my honor and privilege as the Secretary of State of Nebraska to do so, but since you raised the subject of me in your remarks, I have a moment for rebuttal, and that is that when I joined the State Board of Education, Fred was the president, and I will tell you that he was a great leader of the State Board of Education. And we didn't all have the same opinions, but he was able to lead us forward as a group in a very positive way. And he always was encouraging and supportive of me on the State Board, and I am very grateful to you for that, Fred. And so now, if you would raise your right hand. Do you, Frederick C. Meyer, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of member of the Legislature, District 41, according to the best of your ability, and that at the election at which you were chosen to fill said office, you haven't improperly influenced in any way the vote of any elector, you haven't accepted nor will you accept or receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing from any corporation, company, or person, or any promise of office for any official act or influence, or for any vote that you may give or withhold on any bill, resolution, or appropriation. If you do, please say, "I so swear," or "I so affirm."
I so swear.
Congratulations, Senator.
Thank you.
Well, that would conclude our events. Any questions? We'd be happy to take a couple. Martha. Every set of circumstances is different, and this one for the state of Nebraska, the people of Nebraska, a short session, a 60-day session, and there are candidates out actively working to become the next state senator from District 41. I believe that it's really, really important for the people to decide who the next senator for District 41. I am not going to be endorsing a candidate there. Fred and I have talked about it. He's not going to be endorsing a candidate as a sitting senator. We believe that the people of District 41 are best served to find out who works the hardest, who will be out to earn the seat, and that's why. Actually, I knew a number of the 16 applicants and visited with several on the phone. Be really honest with you, I recruited a number of people to apply and was able to keep it a pretty simple process. So I'm a believer in recruiting, not hoping, and that's how we did it. We did not discuss. We certainly discussed and covered because Fred and I have known each other a number of years, but we sat down and we certainly talked about how we saw the world, and that I was 98% sure that we fundamentally agreed on everything, but I don't believe in assuming, so we covered those conversations. You'd like to address anything there?
Like you said, I have a lot to learn, and I haven't reviewed all the carryover bills from last year, and I know that it's a 60-day session, and I'm the newest senator on the floor, and so I'm not in a position to take on any major new initiatives. But like I said earlier in my comments, I'm passionate about education. I think there's some good things done over the last couple of years, and we need to continue to work on those. As all Nebraskans know, property tax relief is just of the utmost importance, and we need to continue to work on that. I also am interested with the governor's help in looking at the way ag land is valued in Nebraska. All the states around us use a different method. They use a profitability index versus our selling price, and it has consequently their property taxes as a percent of their income rate is 10 or 20% of what ours is. So it's a hardship in Nebraska, and we'll work on it, what we can do in 60 days. So thank you for the question.
Andrew?
Oh. I'm sorry, I can't. Well, as I see it, the biggest issue right now is our lack of certified teachers, and any way and anything that we can do to encourage more young people to get into education and stay in education are things we need to work on. The governor and I have visited just briefly about maybe somehow putting some money into student teaching. I think student teaching is about the only internship that anyone's ever heard of that's not paid. Every other industry in Nebraska and nationwide pays their interns except student teaching. So that would be one area I think we could flesh out and see if that would entice more young people to go into education. I know in rural districts, if they have an opening, if they have one applicant, that's all. And if you're hiring people, if you only have one applicant, that's probably not the way to get the best choice.
Didn't hear you, Andrew. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think, probably not up to speed to be able to comment. All right. Well, thank you all for being here this afternoon. We greatly appreciate it. Congratulations, Senator Meyer.
Thank you. Governor Pillen. Thank you, Jim.